So summer holidays, hooray for some of us. Some people are going away abroad, it's all happy and it's all sunshine, yay. But sometimes the holidays isn't great for everyone. And I'm one of those people where it's not. So summer has always been my time where I've usually gone downhill. My mental health is always a bit tight-ropey and it's really difficult to try and structure my day. And if you're watching this video, it probably is too. Firstly, it's really difficult sometimes to see friends always going abroad. Like, I'm not complaining about it. They have every right to go abroad. It's not their decision, or sometimes it is, but God, they should go. They deserve a holiday. But the fact is, I haven't been abroad for ages. I don't really like going abroad, which is sort of lucky, but I know a lot of people, it sort of feels quite rubbish when you're sort of stuck in the same town and you're not really going anywhere and you don't really have anywhere to look forward to or anything to look forward to in particular. So summer holidays can be bad because of that. I mean, the British weather, especially the Scottish weather, isn't the best, even though it's a heat wave right now, but that won't last long, knowing Britain. So it can be very difficult just in that. Just lack of somewhere new, just staying in the same place can be just a bit dull in itself. One of the things in the past is I don't really structure my day. I haven't really had the tools to structure my day. A lot of your friends are away and you don't really have that many friends to talk to. And in a sense, in the holidays, certainly I do. I isolated myself because I felt like everyone else was busy. I just wasn't in the mood to socialise because I was just stuck in my room all the time. School day. School days have structure. You get up early in the morning, you go to school, you have your subjects, and then you come home, you have tea, you either do homework or you procrastinate on the internet like I do, you go to bed or listen to music, and then do it all over again. It's sort of a structure. And you may hate the structure, but certainly I have found it that it's a lot better for me to have a structure than not have a structure. In the summer holidays, this is difficult because no longer do you have a structure. You don't really have planned days. You have to plan the days yourself, and when you're depressed or you're struggling or you're just not used to it, that can be difficult. That can be so difficult. And when you don't structure your day, a lot of days you'll stay inside, a lot of days you'll stay in bed, and then you don't see your friends, and then you isolate yourself, and then things start to go downhill. And that's, for me, has been the cycle for a number of years now. Last year it was okay, but I tend to overeat or undereat or just get depressed or isolate myself, and it's just difficult. It's so difficult. But I found some ways to deal with it. I've been to counselling a few times. I mentioned that in previous videos. And there's a lot of things that are difficult to do, but if you do them, it really does make a difference. Number 1, try and go out at least once a day. Now this can be for a walk, for a run. I know exercise isn't the best and sometimes it's raining, but even if you take an umbrella or go to the gym, go to your relatives or your friend's house, or like I have my aunties around the corner, I always go down to theirs if I feel down, because it's just, they cheer me up a bit. So getting out the house and exercising is great because it sort of clears your head a little. It sort of makes you have fresh air and sort of just makes you feel a bit better and a bit refreshed that you've done something, so it's a bit of an achievement as well. And that sort of brings up your self-esteem a little. That can sometimes be difficult if you have anxiety, but it's the same with anxiety. Small steps, even going out for 5 minutes can help. And then I found with my anxiety that the more I got out, the less the anxiety, or the less severe the anxiety was, and the more I could cope with it, I guess. So even if you try that, it might help. 2, try and stay in touch with your friends, even if it's just through Facebook or Twitter. Preferably more face to face, but even if you just try and talk to your friends and try not to sort of completely isolate yourself, that is a win in itself, because when you have friends, you feel wanted, you feel involved, you feel achieving something. And no doubt, when you're talking to them, they'll probably want to go out somewhere. They'll want to go shopping, or want to go to the cinema, or even just want to catch up. Me and my friend just caught up the other day. I mean, we just had a walk, and we just caught up in the meantime. And it's really good. It's just great to catch up. And I know you might not be feeling like it. You'll want to stay in bed, or you want to feel comfortable in your house. But you have to override that, because otherwise things sort of get worse. Or for me, certainly it got worse, unless I did make an effort to try and get out. And I know it's hard to make an effort, especially if you're depressed, especially if you're really dealing with difficult anxiety. But for anything to get better, I guess you have to at least try, and I know it's difficult, but it's worth it, because it does help. Number 3, try and eat healthy. If you eat junk food all the time, you're probably going to feel pretty awful. Whenever I go to my dad's at the weekend, he literally just fills me with junk food. That's rubbish. I fill myself with junk food that he has, and he supplies regularly. I mean, the odd treat is great, especially for getting motivation up. But eating junk food won't make you feel good, because you'll probably feel bad, or you feel like you're gaining weight, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with gaining weight. There's nothing wrong with losing weight. It's just as long as you do it healthily. And if it doesn't make you happy, I mean, I've gained weight previous summers, and it's been frustrating. But just try and sort of, instead of having sweets, have some fruit. Have your normal main meals, but just, it's usually the snacks that sort of get you, I think. Just try and go for fruit more. I know that's difficult as well, it's really boring, but it does help. It makes you feel a little bit more less curled up in a ball, or more outreached, I guess. That's a really bad analogy, but I think that's true in a sense. Or, try and do at least a task each day. This sort of covers number 1, but it's some sort of extended. So, maybe reading a book, or tidying your room, or I don't know what else, writing a poem, or just reading, or doing some schoolwork, or painting, or drawing, anything like that. And I know sometimes you're not in the mood, and it's sort of a pain to try, it's a pain to do effort, and sometimes it's difficult to make yourself do that, because you feel like, you just don't feel like it, you just feel wrapped up, you just don't want to do anything. But if you do it, you sort of feel a lot better, and you feel like you've done something, and you feel like you've achieved something, and it's those small achievements, it's those small goals that can really help you improve, and that can really help you along. It's the small things that really count when you sort of feel a bit down. Small wins, the small achievements are going to be so big in the wider thing of it. For me, those are the main things that help me. I know it doesn't really sound great, but if you're really struggling, and you're really in the dark hole, then I would advise going to your doctor. And I know how scary that is. That is the most terrifying thing, and the most terrifying prospect that can ever, probably, you feel like you could ever face. But it's worth it. I mean, my mum got me to a doctor, and we just talked, and I was just honest, because I just didn't have the energy to lie. It's not even worth lying, but they got me to counselling, and counselling really just got me recovered for the most part. Counselling certainly gave me the tools myself, and sort of the motivation, I think, to want to get better and to stay better, and it's really difficult. And I mean, I'm only a 17-year-old girl. I mean, I'm not qualified in anything. In the summer holidays, I found it that if I isolated myself, I thought badly about myself, because I had to deal with myself all the time, and you sort of start to hate yourself in a way. But one of the things my counsellor showed me that I thought it didn't work, but I think overall it did, was writing down all your negative thoughts on a piece of paper, half the paper, and negative thoughts on the side and positive thoughts on the side, or vice versa for you. Negative thoughts on the side but positive thoughts on the side. So put all your negative thoughts down, but then you have to, on the other side of paper, this side, you have to combat those negative thoughts and challenge them, and use or think of a positive thought that challenges them. So example, if I put, no one likes me. No one likes me and everyone hates me. That's sort of the voice in my head that doesn't really think logically. It's difficult because in a way it makes sense when you're in that state of mind, but it's difficult for me to talk about, but yeah. And then the positive side, it'd be like, I have a lot of friends who care about me. And it's difficult because you don't necessarily believe the positive thoughts in that state of mind. But overall, in the big picture, doing that over and over again and doing it as a natural defence when it happens in the future, it really does help. It's difficult because you have to want to recover before you can recover, and it's really difficult. I'll put some links down in the description as well. If you're really struggling, then these are the people that I went to, and these are the places that really helped me out. You have Samaritans. I emailed them and they were amazing. They were so helpful. You can call them as well, but the link will be to the website, so the information's on there. They were amazing, and they've helped me and a few of my friends out that felt really bad, and they were just amazing. They just listened and they emailed back, I think within 24 hours, and they're just so good. You can call them as well, if you wish. Childline. I know Childline is one of these organisations where a lot of people just think it's for bullying, but it's not. You can, online you can make your own account. You can talk to a counsellor one-to-one in a chat room, you can call them. I believe they have message boards as well, which are moderated, so only good things happen there, and it's a great supportive website. I also put a few links for some places online that will make you feel calmer. And also, if you're having trouble with sleeping, especially when in the summer holidays, I would recommend ASMR. If you haven't tried it out, look it up, try a few videos out, and maybe you'll see what I'm talking about. It's sort of basically videos of people doing small tasks that make sort of noises that sort of calm you down. It sounds really weird, but try out a few of them. Yeah, those help me out a lot when sleeping especially. But I believe in you, and I'm proud of you, and you're amazing, and I want to hug you, and you're never alone, and I just want to outpour all my goodness to you, and I wish I could take all the bad things away. The fact is you're going to be okay. Things get better. They really do get better, and I'm getting teary because this is all the stuff that I wanted to hear when I was struggling. But you can make it through, and I love you, and you're amazing. And you really need to believe that, because I'm tearing up anyway. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope this did help. And if you want any other video for anything that you're struggling with, I'll try my best to make a video about it. Sometimes it might be too difficult for me to talk about things, or I'm not qualified to talk about it at all. So if you leave a video request from me in the comments, then I'll try my best to do it, but I can't guarantee that I will be able to help in any way. So thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you're okay. I love you to bits, and sending hugs everywhere. And yeah, I'll see you later.